What is up, Fanatics? It is 8 p.m. Mountain Time, and that means another episode of Home Theater Fanatics Live. Tonight is episode 153, and we have a really good episode because this is a guy that I really admire and I'm really happy to have on the show. And I think it's his second time, and it's Steve Nemi with Pangea Audio Distribution. And you might not know Pangea Audio Distribution, but I'm sure you're going to know the brands that he represents. Anyway, Steve, welcome to the show.
Hey, Jiles, thanks for having me. It might actually be the third time now because
Is it
we
the
did
third?
that. We did the giveaway as well.
That's right. Oh man,
Yeah.
time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, we gave away a Record Doctor 5 to a lucky winner.
I know. I saw that, and I'm like, oh man, that thing's sweet. It's so cool. And we'll cover that off for people a little bit later for folks that might not know what that is. But it's a pretty cool piece of tech. Obviously for folks that are into vinyl. But I think maybe to kick things off, let's let everybody know who you are and why they should care, and a little bit about the brands that you represent as well.
Yeah, so Pangea Audio Distributing, our motto as a distribution company and also as a manufacturer is high-end audio at down-to-earth prices. So we believe our core philosophy is hi-fi is about music, it's about entertainment, it's about relaxation, it's about escape into the movie, into the music. So it should be fun, and it doesn't have to be expensive. It can be, like any hobby, you can spend a lot of money. But the brands that we manufacture and represent really, I think, embody great values. So the three brands are Record Doctor, which we mentioned earlier. So we own, manufacture, distribute that brand worldwide. We're on year 22, I think, with Record Doctor.
Oh, wow.
As our brand. We just introduced the 20th anniversary edition. Pangea Audio, which started with a single power cable, something like 14, 15 years ago, and has since grown into a massive portfolio of products for us, from cables to furniture, speaker stands. And then last but not least is we are the US importer and distributor for Vincent Audio out of Germany. And they do electronics, so integrated amps, Phono Preamps. So that's kind of who we are. And my position is Director of Global Sales, and 50% of my job is working with the dealers and the distributors worldwide. And then the other 50% is kind of helping bring products to market when a customer comes to us, or Jay Victor, who does our design engineering work, has an idea. I don't actually have any of the creative input, but maybe helping that product, come from idea stage to actually shipping out that back door to our customers. And we have a huge team to support that effort.
That's really cool. I want to dig a little bit deeper into those product lines. And the one I want to talk about the most is Vincent, but I think we'll push that to the last because I have a bunch of comments and questions and stuff about that. But the one that I think is the most interesting, though, because it's kind of a world that I don't live in super often, is the Record Doctor gear, right? And there's so much. What is the right way to describe it? So much ceremony and ritual around listening to records, and how you take care of it. And there's so much that you need to do to keep those systems in shape. And the products that you sell really enable that for the connoisseur of vinyl. So maybe you can tell us a little bit more about what Record Doctor is. I mean, when your records are sick, do you go see the Record Doctor, or how does it work?
Once they're sick, I don't know if we can help you.
It's too far gone.
If they're just not feeling well, we can definitely make a difference. Well, Record Doctor really started, like I said, 20 plus years ago now, as somebody else was actually making these machines. And actually, let me just pull one up here on the screen, just so the audience can kind of see, in case they're not familiar with what the Record Doctor is, the actual original cleaning machine. So here's three of the machines. I'm going to pull up the gloss black just as an example here.
Oh, I like that. That's classy.
So what it is, it's a machine that vacuums the dirt, the dust, the grime, and the muck out of your record. And it's a pretty simple process. You put the record on the machine, apply a little bit of fluid, you brush it around, you flip the record over, and if you can see, there's a vacuum strip there, and when you flip the record over and turn the machine on and turn the record manually, that vacuum motor extracts the fluid, but in that fluid is the dirt and the dust and the grime that is way down deep into the grooves.
Right. So the round thing spins off, right? And then
Hmm.
there's, a pokey, set your record on it, put on the cleaning material, flip it over, tighten it down, and then turn on the vacuum and spin it, and it just pulls the grime right out.
It does, and you can watch. There's educational videos, even short little 30-second tutorial because that's about how long it takes to learn how to use the machine. But you just nailed it. That's exactly how the machine works.
And then I
Um,
assume you would hit that side that's on the face up at that point, flip it one more, give it one more go round, and then you're done.
you're ready to go.
Right on.
And I think about how I used to take care of my records when I got into this in high school. I mean, I had the Recaton or the disc washer brush maybe, and really, if you're listening and there's only one thing you can do to your record before you listen to it, it's just get a nice brush. It doesn't have to be expensive. Just at least dust the dirt off.
Right.
That can make a huge difference to the your listening experience, but even more so to the longevity of your vinyl and your stylus. So a brush first and foremost. Uh, when you look at record cleaning machines, and I said earlier about us having affordable products, I don't know of any other record cleaning machines out there in the $200 range. I showed you the Record Doctor 6, which is our upper model. We
The
actually have
flagship, right?
the flagship. We have the Record Doctor 5, which has been with us for I think 7 years. That's $219. That includes a brush. It includes fluid. It includes the machine itself.
Oh,
So
wow.
for just over $200, you can get into vacuuming your vinyl. So if you have that in the budget for vinyl care, I'd say that's a pretty big step up because by the time you go away from the Record Doctor 6 and maybe you're looking at some other brands, you're in the $600 and up range. And then if you want to even talk ultrasonic, which is a whole nother level, you can be in the thousands and thousands of dollars for a machine.
Yeah,
So
it would seem that, if you're really into vinyl and if you like to go out and try and make those finds, you're going out to the garage sales and you're picking up, grandpa's collection from the 60s and 70s and that kind of thing. My guess is that those albums are going to just be in, unless it's, a very finicky collector, probably a condition where they need to be cleaned. And it would seem like this product would be an absolute must for the collector. I mean, just no question about it. You have to have it.
yeah, and if you watch some of the videos out there from some of the vinyl legends, like Michael Fremer, for example,
Mhm.
where he talks about record care, even brand new records need to be cleaned, and vacuum-based record cleaning is one of the best ways to go.
That's awesome. That's cool. Now, before we jump to the next topic, I do want to call out, some of the folks that are in the crowd. So first off, everybody, thanks for joining today, and glad to see a lot of the mainstays here, and a few new faces making some comments. We always have a lot of lurkers, and I'm happy to see folks coming out of the shadows. But Wayne's here, Double A, My Mail's with us, Hi-Fi Haven. Gosh, let me start scrolling. Neil's with us, Chad's with us, lots of folks. So Alcazar, some people that I haven't seen before. So welcome to the crowd. And if you have any questions, please don't be shy to speak up. This is an interactive show, and we love to have comments. All right, so to keep things kind of in the vinyl point of view, but I guess to shift over to the next product line, that would be Pangea. And Pangea, you have a lot of products that cater to vinyl there, but also just in general to every other aspect of hi-fi, right?
We do. It really the line really started, like I said earlier, with just a single power cable. We were looking for a way to make the voodoo, mystery, the magic around power cables. Do they make a difference or not? Without having to spend $400 or $500 to find out. So we started with a $29 aftermarket power cable designed by Jay Victor as Pangea's our AC14. It's still in the line today. Uh, Really with a sole purpose so someone can buy it take it home, plug it in, get some time on it, and decide for themselves, do power cables make a difference or not, without breaking the bank. And from there, we've grown the power cable line, into I think 7 models now, and that's not including the models that we make for Europe with the Chico connectors on it. So that's really where the Pangea cable line started, and then we grew from there, like I said, into all kinds of different avenues.
Yeah, and I mean, from a cable point of view, you don't only do cables, but power cables, but you also do what is it, RCA, XLR? You do what SPDIF, the optical cables, and I'm not sure if you do coax. Are you
Mhm.
doing Ethernet and all that kind of stuff now as well?
We are Ethernet, USB, digital coax, optical, several levels of RCA cables, good, better, best, 2 levels of XLR cables, better and best. And they're all in the affordable, I can take this home, I can buy it, I can try it out and really not break the bank or, regret this purchase. I'm gonna get a lot for my money with this product.
Right. And when you get into the cable conversation, that's typically one that I avoid because you have people on each side. But I have a point of view around it as well. But part of my point of view is that um, and I know people are going to be like, oh, they always roll their eyes when I talk about this, but I like my system to look good. And regardless of whether there's any audible impact of nice cables, I sure do enjoy having nice cables and using them and installing them and then looking at them and seeing them as I sit down. I don't know. Maybe it's just like a pride of ownership thing, but I would much rather have, a 30, 20, $30, $40 cable that looks really, really good. And I know that it's of, adequate quality, good enough quality, um, and have that in my system. That's kind of my approach. I don't want to spend $10,000 on a cable that looks like a big rattlesnake, but I want nice cables that I have confidence will not negatively impact my system, right? So I don't know. It's maybe not the same point of view as everybody else, but I do enjoy cables from that point of view. Now,
Yeah.
outside of cables, though, there's a lot more.
There is, and I'll bring up another image here, and this really comes into several years ago. We sometimes we just kind of fall into these niches or these voids. We saw there was a void for a high quality, simple, affordable audio rack. And you have options. You go about, and I'm going to go back to my high school, college days. Cinder blocks for speaker stands, and maybe that stolen milk crate to put the integrated
Sure.
and the turntable on. And you can go to one of the big box stores and get one of their screw together ones, or there's that big box store down by you out of Sweden. Um,
Oh, yeah, the IKEAs.
yeah, the IKEAs. So there's a lot of ways to go, and then you can go to the far extremes, and you can spend $5,000 or $6,000 on a 3 or 4 shelf rack that has isolation and 500-600 pound shelves. So we really wanted to find something that was built by audiophiles for audiophiles, that was simple, it was affordable, came in a lot of options. So we started with and I'm going to pull this up here. We started
Adam,
with,
Adam has joined us.
hey
Hey,
Adam.
Adam.
So we started with just with a 4 shelf rack, and are you able to? There we go. So we offer this in 4 colors now, but when we started, this was just our 4 shelf rack. It's expandable. You can add up to 2 more shelves. We have drawers. You can see some of the colors down at the bottom. Let me pull up that thumbnail that it's available in. So black, rose nut, espresso, which kind of changes between black and brown depending on the lighting, and then the carbon fiber vinyl.
Yeah, I
So,
actually I have a amp stand or single shelf, however you want to think about it,
mhm.
in the carbon fiber vinyl, and I've used it for all kinds of stuff. It is rock solid, bulletproof.
It's really been, I mean, this line has been great for audiophiles, non-audiophiles as well. And we make a version that's specifically for turntables. So 3 shelf, which is extra thick top shelf. So you put your turntable on top of the extra thick 21 millimeter shelf. And then there's storage at the bottom for up to about 100 LPs across the bottom.
Hmm.
And then again, that's expandable as well. So you could add LP storage to this rack, or you could add even additional storage for LPs to the other racks. I mean, the list just kept growing and growing as the more the racks we sold, the more people came to us and said, could you do this? Could you do that? I think one of our most recent requests that we just introduced, and we just, speaking of Adam, he just did a press release for us, was we just introduced feet. So it comes with spikes.
Really? I've totally missed that.
Let's see. So it comes with spiked feet. So
Hmm.
metal spike feet that you would spike through your carpet into your floors. And then it comes with little cups for protection. But some folks just wanted a nice protective foot that they could screw right in and then not have to worry about spikes. So there's the bottom. And we call them glide feet
I
because you
like
can
that.
just glide them around.
I like that a lot. Spikes have their place, but a lot of times I'm putting stuff on hardwood, and I'm not gonna spike my hardwood floors.
Yeah.
I don't care what the piece of equipment is, just not gonna happen ever. That's cool. My favorite accessory for the shelving is the I don't know what the right term is, but it's the X crossbars on the side. That when I first saw them, I thought really elevated the aesthetics of the whole set, and I really like the way those look a lot. I think you could do like a rosewood with the X's on the side and have a really stunning piece of equipment for not a huge amount of money. Oh yeah, let me get this in here.
Yeah. This
Yeah,
is
that
another.
that I like a lot.
So I quite often will take calls from customers. I had a dealer in Washington call me yesterday for a customer recommendation of, what 4 shelf rack do you recommend? And I always go to this version, the X Brace, because instead of the 15 millimeter shelves, it comes by default with the 19 millimeter shelves, and it's only
Oh.
it's only $50 more. So you're getting the thicker shelves and you're getting the X braces, which you mentioned.
Yeah, that really brings an additional level of kind of visual complexity to the environment. And maybe complexity is not the right word, but the aesthetic of it is more interesting, right? When I look at it, there's more there too, and I'm like, okay, that there, there's some shapes going on and stuff, and it really is pleasing to my eye. Not to get too deep into it, but I like that look quite a bit. And for $250, holy smokes, come on.
Yeah, and again, that one is interchangeable. And all of our Vulcan racks, I like to say, if it says Vulcan on it, it's interchangeable. So because the shelf size is, we made one shelf size, same depth, same width. You might have different thicknesses, but you can add a shelf or drawers or what have you to these without having to worry about compatibility issues.
Right on, right on. Okay, I think it's time to talk about the thing that I discovered, I guess, last year, and I've become a
Hmm.
really huge fan of, and that's the Vincent line of equipment, which I believe is out of Germany, and you carry not the full catalog, but a subset of it for the American market. Is that right?
Yeah, every year except for these last 2 years, we would go to Munich, and we'd go to Vincent's room, and they always had a nice big room up on the first floor of the atrium, and we would look at everything that they have, the
Mhm.
streamers, the CD players, the just some of the biggest, most beautiful equipment. But as a distributor, we have to pick and choose what we're bringing in. We can't bring in the entire catalog, because when you bring something in, you need to bring in extra circuit boards, extra
Oh yeah,
remotes.
you can
That's
have parts
additional
and pieces.
training, and right. And you need to be able to support the line for X number of years past the discontinuation date. So um, quite often we'll have people ask, "Hey, do you have this or do you have that? I saw it in a European catalog." And but ask, but it's what we do offer is on the website. But yes, it is designed and engineered in Germany. The higher end product, like the SAT7 preamp, the monoblocks, they're actually built in Germany.
That's cool.
Yeah, and when Vincent started, and I don't remember the year off the top of my head, we were the first U.S. distributor and still the one and only U.S. distributor for them. And we have a great relationship, really good people, and they embody our values of just delivering a lot of performance for the money.
Right on. Yeah, so I can't remember the product numbers off the top of my head, but I was able to demo a preamp and amp last year, and they were just absolutely superb. at a price point that was pretty staggering. And it was good enough that I contemplated, doing some wholesale changes in equipment and running a Vincent stack, and that still rolls around in the back of my head every once in a while. But the I think it's really interesting that they have the hybrid gear, so solid state tube or valve hybrid equipment. That's pretty interesting. And then from a vinyl point of view, they've got a very interesting stack of equipment there.
Yeah, so you talk about hybrid, where they put the tube on the front end and the
Uh-huh.
solid state on the back end, is in just about everything they do, with the exception of their most entry level products. They even have a Phono Preamp that's a hybrid.
Hmm.
So you did the SA32 preamp and the SP332 amp. So the preamp, that was a $1,300 preamp, and it was a $2,500 amp. I think the amp is 150 watts by 2,
Hmm.
and I think you really enjoyed working with that.
Oh, it was absolutely stupendous. I loved it. It sounded really, really nice and more power than I could ever hope to use. So that's really good. Um, let's talk a little bit about the phono stage stack that they have, because they do some pretty interesting things with power and separation of components and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so the Phono preamp line, we actually bring in 3 models because they're incredibly popular. Because A, they're really affordable. B, if you look at the one in the middle, the Phono 500 was just reviewed by Steve Stone, and the word quiet came up. It is just absolutely quiet. But I got a pop quiz for you.
Now, is Steve
Oh,
here in Colorado? Is that the
he
same
is.
Steve I'm thinking of? Yeah.
Hmm.
So I was on the Colorado Audio Society meeting this past Saturday, and Steve joined.
Oh,
So it
cool.
was cool to see him there.
Yeah, he did a great write up, and I've still never met him here in the Denver area. After all,
A small world, but yeah,
I
it's
know.
it's hard to meet.
Yeah, once the hi-fi shows come back around, I'm sure.
Yes.
So let's do a pop quiz here, Giles. You ready?
Sure, I'm ready.
Okay. What is this?
That is a electrical outlet wall wart transformer thingy.
Yeah, exactly. And this is with a lot of electronics. This is what will come as the power supply, especially smaller electronics like phono preamps, for example, or turntables. Phono preamps in the, I don't know, $500 range. So then we pick up this 6.5 pound beast, and what is this?
Now, I have some insider information, but that's an awesome power supply is what that is.
It is. Um, so this is what the Vincent Phono preamps look like, and I'm just gonna. This is actually a discontinued model. It's a Faux 8. It has since been replaced, but you have the power supply. Sorry, you have the power supply in one chassis. This is where all the noise happens, and then you have the analog section in the other chassis.
Mhm.
So there is a benefit. Now you can keep them separate by taking this approach where you plug this guy into the wall, right?
Right.
And then this handles all your signal processing. But unless you're buying a very high-end aftermarket one, or you have a manufacturer who's paid a lot of attention to how the wall wart is made, these are typically not the best solutions, especially when you're talking about phono stages, because you think about how tiny and minuscule and delicate the signal coming out of your stylus is. Very,
Oh, very. Yeah, super
very.
thin.
So when you're going to run it through your phono preamp, the last thing you want is your power supply inside of your phono preamp. You want it far away. And since we're going to make it far away, why not make it really significant? So in all 3 models
Mhm.
of the Vincent, here's one thing that makes it unique right out of the gate is all the phono preamps are 2 chassis design, just like this, including the entry level model.
Even the entry level?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. What kind of money are people talking about for the entry level model there?
399 for the Phono 300, which looks incredibly similar to this. The cosmetics have changed a little bit. It's available in silver or black. And then the Phono 500, which is actually the Phono 500, our middle of the line, just won Absolute Sounds Editor's Choice for 2022. We just
Oh,
announced that
nice.
on Thursday. And that's the one that Steve Stone reviewed so highly. And then our flagship, the top of the line, from Vincent is the 701. That replaced the 700 about 18 months ago, and they updated the cosmetics, and they added just like the 500, they added a USB output so you can archive your vinyl if you choose to digital.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
it's got a an analog to digital converter.
Yep, and
Nice.
a USB jack that's in there. So the phono preamps are by far one of the most requested and sought after. When people are calling, emailing us at headquarters asking questions, probably 90% of the time is about the phono preamps. Which one of these three and why?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and
That's cool.
the 701, the flagship that I just talked about, that is actually the hybrid design. So it does have a little tube that you can see right there that lights up in the front end. So you think about, the delicacy and the warmth and the glow that comes from tube gear
Hmm.
on a phono stage is really something special. And you're talking about, an $800 phono preamp. That's not a ton of money for a hybrid phono preamp with a separate power supply.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely outstanding. A couple of questions had come across before. Um, a number of people were asking about on-wall racks and then on-wall turntable rack solutions and that kind of stuff. Is that a is that something that you guys offer? I assume that would come out of the Pangea line if you
Yeah,
do.
yeah. So it came out of the Pangea line, and someone is, I don't know who made that comment, but thank you. That's a great comment because we just introduced a wall mount shelf about 6 months ago, 5 months ago, and I think I just put it up here. So
Oh, there it is. Sorry. Yeah,
if you
I'm looking
have
at it
that,
and I'm just there you go.
so $149. I'm going to zoom in on it because the way this is constructed is it's a solid steel rectangular tube, and that U shape at the bottom is solid welded together. So you're not assembling those three pieces. That's a solid U that bolts to the back panel. That back plate is not wood or flimsy. That is a heavy gauge solid steel back plate that you screw into your studs. Something that we did that if you look at other manufacturers did with their wall mount shelves is we spaced the holes, and you can't see all of them here. I have another picture. Um, so that you have 16-inch on center at almost every opportunity. You can't miss a bunch of studs with this model. So you can see here's the solid U
Right. Oh, it's
shape.
got spikes and everything that the shelf sits on.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's got spikes, and there you can adjust it so you can get at your turntable perfectly level, which is incredibly important because we know the walls of homes aren't typically level, so this helps you level it out after the fact. And then yeah, your platform sits on those four little spikes, and then we have a shot here of what it actually looks like with the turntable on it.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And is there space on the back end at the wall for cabling to go down so you don't have to run around the sides?
Yep, we included, and I don't think I have it in the images here, but we included a gap between the back panel here and the
Right.
steel.
Okay.
It doesn't actually show it, but it's a 1 inch gap. Though we originally started, I think, with a 1/2 inch, and I have to look down at the specs, but I think we ended up settling on a 1 inch gap that's back there.
No, that's nice. I could see someone, potentially putting that on a shelf and then directly underneath that having ingress into the wall, and then you could hide all your cables and have a really really smooth install and have that floating record player, as the focal point for everything. That's nice.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for that comment and that question. That was good timing.
Right on. So let's talk about the future a little bit, right? And maybe spend a few minutes talking about this last couple of years. So, the last couple of years, obviously, we know we've been in the pandemic, but some interesting things have happened. So home entertainment, I think, has hit a little bit of a growth spurt there. There's been some resurgence in vinyl and other stuff. How has that impacted you guys? And then, what's coming up in the future for Pangea distribution in general? Any cool new stuff?
Yeah. So if you'd asked me this a year ago, I wouldn't be able to say this, but I can say it now is that we have inventory. We have a lot of product in stock. And that was the work that our team did at headquarters to try to get ahead of that global pandemic because I think everybody's felt the pinch, whether you're going to buy a car or just anything. It's really hard to get, and hi-fi is no exception. So our team worked really hard to get ahead of that curve to get product in stock. So we're feeling good in that respect. What it means for us product-wise is we're going to keep working on vinyl care. Because every article I read, there was one that was just posted on our social media feed by Forbes that the new Taylor Swift album, I think, sold 10,000 vinyl copies,
Mm-hmm.
I think, in the first week or something like that. And hi-fi manufacturers, anybody that has anything to do with vinyl, whether it's the turntables or us with the furniture or the record care, are really seeing that people, like you said earlier, are enjoying that ritual of picking out that piece of vinyl, cleaning it, sitting it down, and actually immersing themselves in that piece of vinyl. I don't see that slowing down anytime soon, and we want to keep continuing to support that market with the flood of requests that come in, and we will. The wall shelf is actually a perfect example of that. That wasn't our idea. We saw some at the Munich show 2 years ago. $700, $900. The holes weren't spaced 16 inches on center because that's not a thing in Europe where they were designed. So we came back kind of with the idea, let's support those vinyl lovers that are out there, and that was based on several actually dealer requests. It was, hey, can you make a shelf that's affordable? So you're going to see us continuing to do things along those lines.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
With Vincent, there's going to be some exciting stuff happening with Vincent this year. I can't give specifics, but I do want to.
Come on, that's what I want to know.
I can hint to one thing. Let me pull up one last product here, and this is the SV737. This was just introduced last year. We just had a great review on this. So
it looks so good. I just love the styling of the Vincent gear. It's awesome. Although it's better in silver.
Yeah, so this is black or silver. So this is their big boy integrated, $3,500, 180 watts times 2. It is, of course, it is a hybrid. But when you look back at what Vincent was doing 7 or 8 years ago with a very purist hi-fi audiophile approach that they took, you would almost expect that they didn't have a remote, because that was, gosh, no, having a remote is too crazy. We can't do that.
It's not pure enough. Yeah.
It's not pure enough. Right. So when they introduced us to the 737 at Munich and told us it's going to have not only Bluetooth, but Wi-Fi, I mean, our jaws just dropped because this is not something that Vincent Audio does. And they have an app to make it all work. So
that's cool. See, you're talking my language there. And I've talked to other people about this as well. And, when I think 2-channel, I want to consume my 2-channel in a way that might not be the same way that other audiophiles do. I want that kind of forward looking modern experience. I want these features in my gear. Now, do I really listen to much using Bluetooth? Not really.
Right.
Not so much, but you know what? Sometimes one of my kids runs up and, if they got their phone, they're like, Dad, you have to listen right now. And, the only way we can really connect it is Bluetooth quickly. So it's nice to have that, right, in everything. And then, the Wi-Fi connection and an app to control, remote control and volume and stuff for my seat. Yes, that's awesome.
And one of the big obstacles for them and a lot of other hi-fi companies that are looking to adopt newer technology, especially when it comes to streaming, is how do we make it sound good? And if we can't make it sound good, we're not going to do it. And I got to tell you, it sounds good for Bluetooth and for Wi-Fi.
That's cool. No, that's really, really cool. I would expect nothing less of Vincent, from what I have experienced myself. It looks like they know how to do things and they want to do things the right way and they do things the right way. So that's what I would expect from them.
Yeah. So, watch for more news on our website. We do press releases, and then follow us on social media because we put our updates there almost immediately as soon as these things become public and we can talk about them.
That's awesome. Yeah. And then for everybody out there, I'll have down in the notes for this video all of the links to get to these different brands and Pangea and whatnot. They're not there here, but after the show, I'll go back and pad all that stuff in so that if you want to go and look for any of these items, it'll be very easy for you to find them. And so if folks want to buy this stuff, they can buy it just directly from your website, right?
They can. Yeah, we do have a shopping cart now. We started that in October of 2019. And then if you have a local dealer, you want to support a local dealer, you click up on the where to buy, and you'll find, a whole number of dealers in most of the major metros and some of the smaller ones. We have some authorized online dealers that you'll find there as well. And if you're listening or you're watching right now, you're out of the country, there's about 14 or 15 distributors that we sell to. We don't sell Vincent outside the U.S. Vincent does that themselves. But if you want to find Pangea, Record Doctor, other parts of the world, it is out there.
Right. It sounds like you have a pretty far reach for everything.
Yeah, it's been great. We have some really fantastic retail partners out there, some great distributors, and it's just been like I said at the beginning, this is a hobby. It should be fun. I feel really lucky to be in the industry and kind of having fun with it every day.
That's awesome. Well, I think our time is getting a little short. So, let me say thank you so much for joining us tonight. And just any final parting words for folks out there watching. Are you guys going to be at any shows anytime soon? Anywhere people can see your gear if they want to check it out? Other than I assume at the dealers that might have it.
Yeah, the next upcoming show that we'll be actively at is going to be the Expona show in Chicago. And I might have the dates wrong. I know it's in April. It's probably the 14th or the 21st, but you can check for the Expona show in Chicago. Right. It's at the Renaissance there, just in Schaumburg. Great venue. It's going to be our first hi-fi show. I know there's been others. I think Florida's coming up. We won't be there. But I think the Expona show will be the first one. Everyone's kind of coming back, and I missed Capital Audio Fest. That one went past me, but come and see us.
Awesome. Well, Steve, thank you so much for joining us tonight. The products that you represent are always so exciting, especially the Vincent. I just love it. So thanks for joining us, and I look forward to talking again soon.
All right. Thanks, Jiles. Bye. Right, thanks.
Take care. All right, folks. We are going to move on to section number 2 of the show. But before we do that, just some folks have jumped on. Nils joined us. I think I called out Wayne before, and someone was asking about Andy Man, I think was asking about Devastators, but I missed that. Here it is. Any chance you can do some dB level measurements on those Devastators? I don't have any Devastators at the moment anymore, so I sold all of them, and I'm hoping to build one of the new version 2 Devastators at some point, not too far down the line, and get a chance to measure those. But for now, we're dry. But moving on, we have a special guest returning to us from the depths and darkness of trials and tribulations, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, the man who has overcome. He's flipping me off. You can't see it, but I can see it. Mike has finally decided to come back and do something in social media again. Hey, man.
Oh, man. I'm not. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hear you good.
Okay, cool. I'm not dead. I almost, but
so close.
So close. As you could see, this is a new place. This is a new couch. This is a new life.
A new haircut.
It's just growing. Well, for those of you that don't know what happened, 3 weeks ago, almost a month ago now. 3 weeks ago, actually, on the dot, my girlfriend and I had a huge flood in our previous apartment. The ceiling was basically falling from above us. Jiles, I called Jiles. Jiles raced over, helped us move all our stuff out.
It was horrible.
It was a really, really bad experience. We did start a GoFundMe, and for those of you on here that supported us on the GoFundMe, we totally appreciate it, because to be completely honest, we have come out of pocket thus far for everything. That was a 3-week hotel stay, new stuff, new place, new rent, So we haven't seen a dime from anybody but the GoFundMe. So thank you so much, guys. The GoFundMe is actually still going. So if you guys want to help out, that's also going to be an option. I'm sure Jiles will put a link to that in the description below. But as far as moving forward, we're getting settled in. We're now living in Colorado Springs. We're not in Denver anymore. We like it here. Everything's really close by. It's North Colorado Springs, so I'm not too far away from Jiles. I'm still about. Actually, I might
he
be.
Couldn't get too far from me. The farther he gets, the more his heart breaks.
Well, I told him I wanted to move to Albuquerque, and he said he wouldn't help me move if I moved to Albuquerque. So,
but that's not because you're
stuck.
leaving. It's just because it's Albuquerque. I'm sure there's somebody in Albuquerque listening right there, like, "Damn you, that's my town."
To answer AA's question, the apartment was in Denver, on the east part of Denver. But we're happy. We're here. We're safe. Nothing happened. Most of our shit got destroyed, but at the end of the day, we're okay. It's just shit, and we'll move forward. We'll rebuild. I'm actually rebuilding my YouTube studio. We got a 2-bedroom now, so that way I'm not filming in living rooms and bedrooms. I actually have my own dedicated YouTube studio that I'm building right now that I am so proud of and really excited to unveil to you guys once it's ready. It's something I've been wanting for a long time. It's something my girlfriend's been wanting for a long time, just to get my lights out of the living room and stuff like that. So things are getting better. They're looking up. Like I said, for those of you that, especially Jiles, I know you supported us in more ways than one. You helped with those big, huge muscles of yours, helped us move.
I was very good at, kind of supervising as well. Pick that side up higher and take that shelf out and go faster. I was very good at that part.
I don't know. I think this whole experience has defeated me for a little while. However, it did give me time to think. It gave me time to step back a little bit. I haven't posted a video in over, almost 3 weeks, obviously. The last video I posted was 2 days before this all happened, or a day before this all happened, which was the PS1 build. So it's given me a chance to really do some soul searching and see which direction I want to go with the channel and things like that. And, I know you and I have talked about it, Jiles, and, there's going to be some changes and there's going to be some things moving forward that I want to cover, and hopefully everybody will like it. It'll be a cool transition.
Well, if they don't like it, they can just unsubscribe. No.
Yeah.
Just stay subscribed. It is
what
just
it is.
Don't like it. Just stay subscribed. It's funny that you mentioned new studio stuff, because my last 2 videos I've filmed in a new location, the kitchen.
I know.
And I rather enjoy filming in the kitchen, although it's a bit echoey, and I need to figure that out. But other than that, I really like filming in there. That's like my spot. I like the kitchen.
What's funny? I know we were kind of going back and forth about the kitchen thing because obviously for the people that watch Linus Tech Tips, he does a kitchen thing. But however, I've seen his behind the scenes, and I think that kitchen he uses is an actual what do you call those things? It's a set.
It's a set. Yeah, it's a set.
Yeah,
and
it's
I think
not a
back
real
in the
kitchen.
day, he just got access to a kitchen set and was like, "Okay, this is what I got."
Yeah.
Just started filming there.
It's not a functional kitchen. But hey, Steve, I know I just missed you, buddy. It's always good to see Pangea doing amazing things, as well as all the other
Vincent,
projects.
man. The
Vincents. Yeah, we did that together. That was a great time.
Yeah, it was really good.
I wanted to cover a couple things while I was here with you. I wrote them down.
Oh man, you got a list? Oh, I'm impressed.
I don't want to step on Steve's toes, but CD sales have finally gone up. Finally went up one and some change % in 2021, seeing their first rise in many, 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 many years. I think that's a huge step forward for my, ambassadorship of CD of compact discs. Not to mention the new Adele CD. I don't know if you're familiar with the new Adele CD, but it sold. I'll tell you right now. This thing sold 605,000 units its first week, right? 378,000 of that was CDs. Only 108,000 was vinyl. And I believe the rest were 205,000 was digital downloads. So CDs outsold digital downloads and vinyl put together.
I still want a cassette tape of it.
Oh, cassettes actually. So they sold cassettes of this album on her website. They made 2,000 of them and they sold out.
Oh, that's cool.
So cassettes are actually making a little comeback too, which I think is hilarious. I actually
Yeah, because the sound quality of a cassette is horrible. So
I think it's the novelty of having it,
Yeah, cassette tapes are they're trash. But I love it. I mean, I wouldn't mind having like a Nakamichi auto reverse azimuth adjusting, unit just to have one.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool. Auto reverse is the thing, though.
If we can stumble upon something, or who knows, maybe there will be a company out there that gets a wild hair and decides to make a cassette tape. I don't know.
Right? They're like reel to reel, Adele. I'm sure that exists. I'm sure it has to exist.
I still have yet to hear a reel to reel.
Oh, you've heard reel to reel. You just don't remember hearing it because I was with you. We've heard it at shows before.
We have?
Yeah, we've heard reel to reel at shows before.
Okay.
I think we even talked about a reel to reel one time.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it was at
it was Rocky Mountain Audio Fest.
Yeah, RMAF.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Next thing on my docket here. Spotify. Oh my God, Spotify. Like, what happened? First and foremost, where is my Spotify hi-fi that I was promised in 2021? Where?
That's the real thing right there.
Where? Like,
Spotify
where is it?
high res.
I posted something on Instagram. Guys, check out the Instagram because I posted their response to it, and all they said was, "Oh well, we're trying our best, and we'll let you know." It's like, when? Like, Apple and Amazon both released the second Spotify mentioned it was it January or February of 2021. Apple and Amazon released theirs within a month or two. Done.
Yeah, that means that they had it in the works for a while.
Yeah,
they were ready.
They left them in the dust. So, and then obviously whatever happened with this Joe Rogan business, I don't want to get into politics, but apparently Neil Young and a couple other people have left the platform because of whatever.
I pulled all my music off. I mean,
I almost want to pull mine off. I almost want to pull my Mr. Dead off there, but honestly, Jiles, I like Qobuz. I really do.
I'm Qobuz 100%. That's all I use.
I really do enjoy that. The only problem with Qobuz is, yes, they don't have the library that Spotify has, or even Apple or Amazon or whatnot. But
they probably have one of the smaller libraries, and I hit stuff not often, but occasionally that they don't have, and I'm all like, like a weird one. What's the guy Childish Gambino, right?
Yeah.
So I forget the name of the album, but Spotify, but
remember that weird video he did?
Well, no, not that one. There's a song called Redbone.
Okay.
And Qobuz didn't have Redbone, but it had every other song off the album, which I thought was weird. But I think Redbone is probably the most popular song off that album.
I've noticed that too.
I wanted to listen to it, and I'm all like, I can't get it. So you know what I had to do? YouTube.
Yeah.
That's painful.
Yeah. I think YouTube probably has the lesser quality for listening, but Wayne just asked how we rate Tidal.
Yeah.
I've actually A/B'd Tidal and Qobuz in a professional environment, and Quoba's actually does sound a bit better, a little bit more vibrant, a little bit just better, So that's what, and honestly, with libraries, they're about the same. So for me, that was a no-brainer. I'm like, I'll go with the one that sounds better if I'm going to get the same amount of songs, or selection. So yeah, and
Yeah, the thing
Tidal,
about Tidal is that you need a full renderer piece of hardware that can do all the unfolds on the music to get you the highest quality. And I just did a little tiny DAC review of the THX Onyx, and it even unfolds MQA, but you do need special gear if you want to get all the quality out of Tidal.
the thing with MQA too, there's a lot of I don't know. There's people say
A lot of controversy.
Controversy. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, a lot of people say it's just copy protection, and it's not lossless. And the different. I don't want to get into those. Those are religious arguments.
Well,
but if you don't,
I did a video explaining. I did a video explaining the technology. The technology is there. It's just a different type of compression. That's all.
Yeah.
And they feel it's superior, and good for them. Like everything's fine. At the end of the day, all it matters is what you guys enjoy listening to. That's it. Like Hi-Fi Haven, he likes Apple and Amazon. Nothing wrong with that. It's going to be very small nominal differences if you're using, a good DAC and stuff like that. Now Spotify in comparison.
Well, let's talk about what Wayne's saying here. You don't want Spotify if you want high quality music. You get Spotify so you can have everything cheap.
Right. Spotify, if you compare that to Tidal, Qobuz, Amazon HD, or Apple High-Res, you're going to notice a huge difference.
Yeah.
And I'm talking, this isn't like a slight little nuance. This is a huge difference. So yeah.
Spotify simply has the biggest, maybe they have the biggest catalog. They have a huge catalog and good prices. That's what Spotify has going on.
I like them. I like like I said, I like the selection, but the sound quality is caca. Unless you're in the car or something, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, marketing questions about. Yeah, it really stands for, I think, what is it? A master quality assurance or something like that.
Master quality authenticated.
Authenticated. That's it.
So what it is, all it is a stamp of approval from the sound engineer. Saying this is good shit.
Yeah, this is how it's supposed to sound.
Yeah, so
this is the real deal.
And yeah, the last thing I wanted to talk about actually has to do with Content Corner. My girlfriend and I finished watching Archive 81 on Netflix, and we really, really enjoyed it. It was just like I told you. I think I told you it was like the butterfly effect and the ninth gate.
Don't spoil too much.
Got married, and this show came out. It's only 8 episodes, so it's a quick watch, but I recommend it.
Yeah, I'm 2 episodes in on it right now, and dude, it is so creepy.
It's weird, isn't it? It's almost
it's creepy. The sounds and then the video. Yeah, it's just all creepy.
What's really like endearing is seeing him do the process of fixing the tape. It's like almost like a science. Like he's sitting there, just fixing the tape and cleaning it and making sure it's perfect, and puts it in a new case and puts
that part's really cool. And
I love that.
He does that
real. He does that throughout the whole thing. Yeah, he does that throughout the whole show. But I really like that. I really like that. Oh no, AA. I'll tell you what. The ending was interesting.
Oops, that's
for sure.
There we go.
The ending was interesting for sure. There has to be a second season. If there isn't a second season, then it's a horrible ending. Then I hate the show. But obviously, I think they have set themselves up for multiple seasons. Probably going to take a Stranger Things or like a Cobra Kai attempt of doing 2, 3, or 4 little small mini series seasons. So
that's cool. So I'll call out a few things as well for Content Corner, because I've been watching a lot of stuff, and I just powered through the first season of As We See It. And this is not a show that I would have expected to really like, but I absolutely love this show. It's not
Mhm.
sci-fi or anything like that at all. It's the story of um, this lady and these three people that she cares for. So they're three adults in their 20s, and they're on the spectrum, the autism spectrum, and she's their live-in life coach. And it just
Mhm.
tells their story of their struggles and everything that happens in their life and that kind of stuff. And, their desire to want to find love and connection and companionship and, overcome some of the challenges that some of them have. They're all like at three different levels on the spectrum. So they all have different aptitudes and capabilities and stuff. And it was so good. I mean, I
Yeah.
watched the whole season in 2 nights.
Oh,
I
let
couldn't
me
couldn't
write it
stop.
down. What's it called again?
As we see it. I don't like the title. The title's the worst part. I get what they're saying, but I figure there could have been some better way to say it. Season 6 of Expanse. It's been out for a while. Absolutely awesome. You got to watch it. Got to watch the whole thing. Super good.
I've been watching that con man show. What's it called?
Ozark.
No. It's a small series about this con man, the puppeteer or something. Man,
I don't know.
Hunting the Puppeteer, I think it's called, or something like that.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's on the first page of Netflix. It's about this guy who's just this like really evil con man and cons these women and stuff like that. It's really interesting how his whole life he's been like that, and it's how it unfolds is actually becoming really, really strange. So I'm excited to finish that.
That's cool. Well, I called out Ozark, and the last season of, I think it's season 3 or 4, and it's broken into 2 pieces, and it's a little bit longer. I think it might be 16 episodes or something like that. But Ozark's really great. You got to watch it. It's a show about just terrible people. Just everybody in the show is just horrible. Even the people that are the good guys, they're all horrible.
Really?
Yeah, but it's so good. Yeah. Oh, what else, man? Of course, Boba Fett's out.
Okay. Yeah.
You haven't seen Boba Fett yet?
No. I see Wayne mention Mandalorian. He's going to really enjoy that.
Yeah, man. So Mandalorian, surprise, surprise, it comes into Boba Fett's world too. I won't spoil what happens, but it's pretty cool.
That's really cool. The actor does?
The character.
Okay.
So the shows take place at the same time. So it's pretty cool.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Steve. I mean, Ozark is great. It's really good.
Oh, just watched the other night we watched Nobody with the guy.
Oh, how was that? I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, dude, it's okay. So imagine John Wick if he was the guy from Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul Goodman.
Yeah.
Saul Goodman is John Wick.
That's yeah.
He just, dude, the whole movie, like the whole beginning of the movie, you're just like, okay, when is he gonna lose his shit? When is he gonna lose his shit? When is he gonna lose his shit?
Does he eventually?
Oh God, yes, yeah. By I think before the second act, he loses his shit, and it's. I think it might have been a parody of a John Wick flick, just because of of how similar the vibe was. But we thought it was hilarious just seeing that actor. He lost a lot of weight for that too. Just seeing that actor in particular, because we just, as you guys may know, I mentioned in the last time I was on here that we had just finished Breaking Bad, so. I haven't seen Better Call Saul yet, but I'm excited to see that. Yes, my mail, I will agree, the best bus scene ever.
I have to watch it now.
Oh yeah, Christopher Lloyd is in it too.
He's still alive?
Yes, dude, and he's badass. And RZA is in it from Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang?
Yeah, RZA's in it. So it's those three. Those three are the protagonists. But no, yeah, it was a great flick, and I recommend it for some. I don't recommend it for like a cinematic experience. I recommend it for some guilty pleasure. We saw, it was like, okay, it's an hour and a half. It's not going to kill us, to dedicate our time to this. And
worth it though, right?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
So,
I'm trying to decide if we should go watch Moonfall or not in the theater.
oh, that's the one with what's his name from Game of Thrones, isn't it? Samuel
Sam,
Tarly.
yeah, I love that dude. That's why I want to see it.
Dude, you can't not like that dude. If you didn't like that dude, then no, like
There's something
I
wrong
would,
with you. Yeah.
something wrong with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be down to go see it with you. That'd be kind of fun. But yeah, that's pretty. It looks interesting. It looks like an interesting flick either way.
Is it out yet? No, it's not out. It's got to be close though.
It's coming.
This month. If anybody knows, call it out. But I think it's got to be pretty soon.
Hands down, though, Spider-Man Far From Home was probably the best movie of 2021. I think it was a hard tie between Spider-Man Far From Home, Dune, and Ghostbusters. I think.
We finally saw Ghostbusters.
How'd you like it?
It was awesome.
I figured you'd like it.
It was so good.
The ending was just chills, right?
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. Okay, so you know all the stuff now. So Egon was dead. Oh, I'm spoiling it. Sorry, spoiler alert. We're about to spoil all of Afterlife.
Well, okay, wait. In your defense, over here, in your defense, Egon's been dead since like 2014. So
what I was going to say, he's like dead in real life, right?
Yes, since like 2014 or 15.
Okay, all right. I'm like, why didn't they just bring him in, and why did they do this? And I'm like, oh, he must be dead. So yeah, he's dead. Okay, that makes. Hold on. Dune 2 is 2023. No way.
Well, they got to be filming it already. Then
are you serious? Double A.
Is
that like
dude.
legit, dude, or is that just like conjecture?
Dude, Double A is our guy in the chair. Okay, he checks.
He is our guy in the chair, and he's all. So in Moonfall's on Friday. As he says, he needs to find a bargain bin for 4Ks. What Double A needs is a kaleidoscope and a big fat credit card and download a whole ton of movies is what he needs. He says it's filming in Dubai. Oh yeah, it seems like a great place to have it. I mean, it's the right kind of environment.
Let the spice flow. Yeah, I want to know who they're going to get for the Emperor.
I won't spoil it for you, but it's me.
Right.
I'm flying out next week. I'm going to go do my Emperor stuff.
I want to
know who's going to be the princess, Irulan.
I want to know who's going to be Fade Routha.
Who's going to be the daughter, the baby girl? What's her name? Alana? No, Elena.
I don't think she comes out in this movie. Does she?
Is she not? Yeah, it's Paul Atreides' little sister, and she is maybe my favorite character in all of the books, because if you don't know, she like becomes self-aware in the womb. So she is born like us, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, understanding. And so she was like in the womb, like, all right, let's hurry up and get this thing done. You know, learn, she could speak and everything when she was born and understand. And she's like super powerful.
Right.
Oh
shit.
What?
Did you hear that?
I didn't hear anything.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. It farted or something?
No. Just something came on the screen and it was really, really loud, and I thought you heard it.
Oh, you should turn it off, man. Come on.
I'm trying.
Alia, yeah.
So, okay, wait. We went way off course. You were going to tell me something about Ghostbusters.
Oh no, I was just going to say, why was he dead and everybody else was alive? Everyone else made cameos, right?
Right.
And it makes sense that he was dead because he's dead.
Yeah, they had to kill him off.
Yeah. But I thought it was awesome. And then, just like you said, I waited through the credits and I got to see Sigourney Weaver.
Mm-hmm.
And she is one of my favorites. You know, just all the stuff she's done. I mean, Aliens, you've got Ghostbusters. I mean, she's just all these roles that were just so good. Mm-hmm. Avatar, she's one of my favorites. Half Moon Street, if you're into that kind of thing.
That's
people are like, what is that?
I'll tell you what, though. Like I said, the only qualms I had with that movie was I felt the podcast guy role and the Lucky, the girl role, unnecessary. Even the brother was unnecessary. But
I think they were going for a Goonies feel because that
yeah,
podcast role was there was like a character out of the Goonies that I remember that made me feel like, oh, that's kind of like that character.
mhm.
But no, I get your point of view.
I didn't really care for those characters at all. I thought Paul Rudd was fine. I thought he was really
Paul
good.
Rudd's good in everything,
Yeah, you can't really like see a Paul Rudd movie that
except
sucks.
for that TV show where he's a psychiatrist with Will Ferrell, the psychiatrist next door.
Oh, I never seen that.
I tried to get through the first episode, could not.
Really,
Yeah, no, it just wasn't happening for me.
that's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like Avatar 2 and 3 coming in a couple of years or something, maybe. I don't know. Super exciting times. I mean, I think we live in the golden age of content right now.
Right.
If you want to watch something, there's something out there. And one thing that I've been exposed to more in the last couple of years than I have in my whole life is foreign language video, whether it's television or movies. Like right now, we're watching Dark, which is German.
Well, yeah, you said that you weren't really feeling it though because of the subtitles, right?
Oh no, I'm feeling it. It is
Oh,
like
okay.
it's difficult to follow because of the complexity of the storyline and so many different characters.
Gotcha.
So I'm all like, who is that? And my wife is like, okay, that's the brother of the person who went missing, and then this is them, but it's in the other timeline, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of hard. It's definitely one you have to pay attention to. Avatar in Wayne says Avatar is in December, hopefully. I've not heard of. I haven't seen Parasite. Is Parasite, is that the Japanese or the Korean movie? I think it's Korean. Might be Chinese. I can't remember if it's the one I'm thinking of. Of course, there's always the one with the girl robot that shoots people with machine guns. Squid Game. That's another one. I haven't finished that yet. My wife saw it all though. All right. Okay. Yeah. Korean. Thanks everybody. I knew it was foreign language from somewhere, but I wasn't quite sure which one it was because I've not seen it yet. Parasite. When I hear Parasite, all I can think of is the Human Centipede, which were horrible,
Korean,
horrible movies. All right, Mike. I think we're pushing up on our time now.
You think so?
Yeah. Anything else you want to let the crowds know? Anything in Mike World? The next video, maybe? What's it going to be? Or
next video will be next review is going to be the Wharfdale Lintons. That's going to be my next actual product review. I might put out a couple of talking videos before then about CDs or something like that because how much I love CDs. But you guys can expect to see something probably in the next week or two.
That's awesome. Looking forward to it.
I should have all my stuff good to go. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited to get back to work and get back to making videos and doing good stuff.
And everyone, Mike has agreed to finally come and film the Tower Tussle.
I have.
Hopefully this weekend, if you're feeling better.
Hopefully, I put up the link to the GoFundMe on the thing, but it didn't show up. I'm gonna do it one more time. Just thanking everybody. Thanks, guys. Here is because I'm gonna be taking it down this week, just because I think it's run its course.
Yeah, the Tower Tussle. We haven't decided which towers it'll be, but it'll probably be some Klipsch towers, some SVS, maybe some Triangle. There's a bunch of stuff that it could be.
It's not coming up. I don't know why.
It might be filtering out URLs automatically, just to keep people from posting stuff up in comments. Of absurd stuff.
Well, I'm sure you'll share that.
Just send me the link that you want me to put up. And I'll put that in the notes here ASAP.
Cool. Here's the link. All right,
Yep.
cool. Well, dude, thanks for having me on, dude. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure to be on here with you. Hopefully, we can do this once a week, religiously. Hopefully, the next time I'll be in my new studio. It'll be cool. It won't be
I'm
on
sure
a
you'll have
laptop.
lights and all kinds of stuff going on, and I'll just still have my books. Ooh,
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I got. Oh yes. Before we go, I want to talk about what I've been seeing on Instagram over here, Mister. I've been buying a lot of
yeah,
computer.
that's my wife's new editing rig that I've got to put together, and I'll be making a million videos about that. So everybody will just have to bear with me as I make that computer content.
Dude, why does she get the new rig?
Oh, because the one I'm building for myself is going to be way better.
Really?
I'm just waiting for all the pieces to come out. So EKWB, so EK Water Blocks, they're releasing a lot of new water cooling stuff. So Lian Li has a new, the 011 Dynamic Evo case is coming out in a month or two. The new Matrix 2 or Matrix 3, I forget, water block cooling stuff is coming out, and I'm pre-ordering the active back plate and the front plate for water cooling for the video card. I just got my 3090, and then they came out with a 3090 Ti just immediate, like 7 days after that. I'm like, crap. So I had the top of the line cards for like 7 days. But all these things, they're all brand new. So I'm just waiting. Even the system board that I want to use is not available yet. And it's one that's got a custom EKWB cooler that cools not only the CPU, but it also does the NVMe and all the other stuff. So I just have to wait. So she's getting hers. Hers isn't going to have a custom loop, but it will have a AIO water cooler, and it'll be an EKWB AIO water cooler too. And I dropped a video about that. I think it's got like 3 views right now. So if anybody wants to help, go watch that one because it's not popular.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
Well,
but that's the story.
Right on, dude.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me on, buddy. We'll do this again next week, and hopefully we'll keep moving forward.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad you're back. Looking forward to those videos. And everybody else out there, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Your time's precious, so I'm always honored that you spend it with me on the show. So thanks so much. See you guys next time.